I love racing at home, and I love London as well. I love being back on the course and in the city, so I'm really excited to race again. It's like being the sprint distance. I'm not sure how that's going to go for me. I probably train more towards the Olympic distance, but yeah, I'm just hoping the crowd support will be there for us. I didn't expect to do so well over the first few races. It's really after the training I'd done, but I came out in better form than I'd hoped. I've had a good block of training at home, and just getting the work done, and hopefully that'll show in the races.
After the foot in Yokohama, that's what pushes me through to race this race. It was going to take something for me not to race at home, and I love this course. I love racing at home, and the crowd definitely lifts me. So I'm looking forward to it. I do prefer the Olympic distance. It's what I train for, so I am better suited to the Olympic distance. I find you do find that there's some of the younger athletes maybe coming through that can handle the sprint maybe a bit better. So I think definitely Olympic is suited more to me.
Yeah, you can't just talk about Jodie. I mean, there's quite a few girls behind her as well that are doing really well this season and haven't raced Yokohama. So, they were behind on the points just because they haven't had that extra race. So, just going out there and trying to do my best is all I can do. There's some things in sprint you don't have to worry as much about nutrition, or but then again, you can't really make as many mistakes. So yeah, it's a different format, and it's fun to race.
I feel like an absolute beginner coming back into this type of racing again. I haven't been in this world for a year and a bit. I pretty much finished after Auckland and had a bit of time back home and did some 70.3 races, and suddenly I'm back here, and where it all happened 2 years ago, and I'm coming from a very different direction as what I did last time I was here.
I had great races since 2010. I won here, and then I got my Olympic medal in 2012. Last year was a very special race. Winning that sprint finish was just amazing. So yeah, happy to be back. All those different years, a different race, different distance. So anything can happen, but I'm looking forward to race. I mean, these first 3 races have been really good. Everything worked well for me, and I loved Auckland course. Cape Town was amazing, and I won that sprint finish in Yokohama. So I couldn't ask for anything better than that. So I'm really happy, but I'm also realistic. I know it's a long season and still have many races to go, and I need to do well if I want to get that title.
I think I've had 3 of my best races ever. In 2009, I pretty much won the world title. 2011, qualified for the Olympics, and 2012, obviously. And 2 of my worst ever with last year and 2010 when I collapsed and was in a bad way. So, yeah, good. Just the best and the worst, and yeah, let's hope for the best. Well, sprint races tend to be on and fast from the start, which is good actually. I really enjoy racing them. We had a great race in Hamburg last year. Really fast, really quick, and that makes it really fun. London is a bit tougher because the course isn't very technical as such, so that changes the dynamic a little bit. But yeah, I just expect it to be fast, and obviously probably coming down to a quick run at the end.
Tom's not here. I'm not relying on him, obviously, but it's definitely it changes a little bit with that regard. And yeah, with a shorter swim, I think you see the triathletes a lot closer together out the water than it would be over 1500. But yeah, it was the funny thing in Yokohama. I still had one of my quickest swims to date. I timed myself between the front guy coming out and myself. And I think it was under a minute, 50 seconds or 55. And I think for me, I've never been under a minute before. So it was still a good swim, regardless. I came out 8th last out the water in Yokohama and managed to get on the podium. So it's quite an interesting dynamic of drafting and how things work in the race. I would say I'm a bit quick over 5 kilometers than I am over 10, but more strength-based running than I am efficient-based running. So I think I fare better over 5 than I do over 10. But I definitely think the likes of Mario, myself, and then the Brownlees, we don't give 2 inches either way. And there'll be a lot of hurt. You'll see a lot of hurt coming on this weekend, and yeah, it'll be great. It's awesome for the crowds, and for ourselves as well. We mentally, none of us want to lose, so it ends up being pretty good.
Yokohama was an awful race for me, really. It was a shock. It was the first time in nearly 50 races I hadn't been on the podium, and I didn't really know what that felt like, but I experienced it again. I think I was very tired going into the race, and if you're flying last minute, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and it didn't work that time. I've never felt that bad in a race before. Straight from the first stroke on the swim, I felt awful. I dived in and I felt like I couldn't swim, but I got around that bit. The bike, I was really struggling, and the run, I literally couldn't run. So that wasn't really much fun. But I realised when I came back from Yokohama, I had to recover a little bit. I was tired, and maybe that's something I hadn't got quite right.
So hopefully now I'm a lot fresher and I feel a lot more up for this race. A sprint can work either way because the bike is short. By the time you've done 2 laps hard on the bike, you've done 10k and you've only got 2 laps left. So if a group is behind, there's not a lot of time for them to catch up. So it may be that a break rate is more likely. But on the second hand, obviously, the swim's a lot shorter, so there's less time to put time into those people. But I don't know, I think this time there could still be a breakaway. In London, we've seen it lots of times before there's been a breakaway. But like, that's what the exciting things about triathlon, anything could happen. If it does come down to a run, I hope that I'll be near the front for a lot longer than I was in Yokohama. My running's been good over the last few days, training, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best races I've done. It's been a long time since all the athletes were racing the last 10k for a win. So I think everyone was looking forward to it, and of course me in particular, because I'm sometimes in this situation where you know that you are fit and you can run well, but you are 2 minutes away from the front, so you can do nothing. So yeah, it was really good to be there, and luckily I had a really good day. Sprint finish with Javi. Just one good win. That time was Javi stronger, so happy with my second place and how the race went. I like the 5K. I think that being a young athlete, and I've done some 3K, 5K and run on the track, so I'm really looking forward to being in that situation. I'm confident on my shape now, and of course Brownlee is Javi, Richard, a couple of other guys. They are great runners, and it's going to be really difficult, but I need to be confident to at least have that option.